Welcome to the Zero to Hero tutorial series where you can learn Angular and go from zero to a hero today. In this session, we are going to go through the basics of what a component is. So without any further ado, let's get started. The first thing that we want to do is go into Visual Studio Code Editor, click on View, and then click on Integrated Terminal. And this will bring up a terminal session at the bottom of your screen. And instead of opening up a brand new terminal session, we just can use Visual Studio Code as our terminal as well. So I love Visual Studio Code. It's so powerful, free to use. So it's really just fantastic tool, guys. Okay, to create the component, type ng generate component and then the name of our component. So we will call ours toolbar. And press enter, some magic happens and we have 4 files. So a CSS file, the CSS file is strictly local to our component. So any styling is only known to this HTML file, not globally to the entire application. We have a HTML file which is used for all of our templating. So the view that we actually see in here, a spec.ts file which is used for testing. In this series we're not going through testing, but if you'd like to learn more about testing or you have specific questions, please leave them in the comments below, and if there's enough interest I will put together a tutorial series designed for testing. And then we have our .ts file, which is a TypeScript file, and this is where all the work for our component gets done. So and finally we have a .ts file. So TypeScript file, remember TypeScript, it compiles into JavaScript but needs to be compiled, and that's why we use Node.js for Angular. So the Angular framework automatically compiles the TypeScript file into a JavaScript file, and it runs at runtime as we are testing. So the Angular framework is doing all of their work for us. The magic happens and we just see the results. So how does our application actually know about this component? Well, there's been an update to app.module.ts. So here we see app.module.ts, and all of these files have been created in app and then toolbar, and then we have the 4 files which are created if we expand the toolbar folder. So if we inspect this app.module.ts file, we see that there's been this import, and there's also been this toolbar component which has been declared in our module. This means that our app.component now knows about this toolbar component. So we don't need to declare it specific within this app.component.ts file. So here we haven't imported it because we've imported it globally. So the next thing that we need to do is within our app.component.html file, this is what we see here. And now we want to actually show the toolbar. So what we'll do is at the very top, we'll add app-toolbar as a tag. And if we save it, we now see that the toolbar text is showing at the top. So if we look at our toolbar component.html file, it's just a paragraph with toolbar works. Say if we had to change this text, it now says hello. So we know that whatever we create in this toolbar.component.html file is then shown on line 1 of our app.component file, which is then known to the web page. So we could have multiple components all on a single page. So we could have a menu bar, we could have a sidebar, we could have a footer, we could divide our main content into 2 or 3 sections and each have independent components running. So the web page doesn't need to update if we make an update to just one component, which is very powerful, but it can also be very dangerous. So if you have someone who is logging in and you want your toolbar to update, but they've entered something into a different component, we need to ensure that that is registered globally and our toolbar actually is aware that there's been this change. So there are some limitations to it or things that we need to consider more, but it is very powerful because it means we do not need to reload the entire page. We're just changing a small part of the page, which means our entire application runs faster. And that is the power of Angular. So in the next session, we will go through styling our toolbar and just making it a bit better as we go through. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Otherwise, smash that like button. Hope you guys enjoying the series and catch you soon.